Before we begin, if you believe in compassion, humanity, and the power of small acts to change lives, then please support love and kindness stories by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and sharing it with others. Your support keeps these powerful stories alive and helps them reach hearts all around the world. It was a chilly autumn evening, and the golden sunlight was melting into the horizon like warm butter on toast. The quiet suburb of Maple Ridge rested under a peaceful hush, the kind that settled just before dinner time. Kids rode their bikes home, porch lights flickered to life, and windows glowed with the warmth of family life. Everything was picture-perfect. Everything except the girl sitting alone on the curb. Her name was Amber. She sat with her knees pulled tight to her chest, her worn-out hoodie wrapped around her shivering body, and a faded backpack resting beside her like the only friend she had left in the world. She hadn't eaten in over 24 hours. She couldn't remember the last time someone had spoken to her kindly. To anyone passing by, she looked maybe so, but life had aged her far beyond her years. Across the street, Daniel Carter, a 37-year-old widowed father, returned from the grocery store with his 6-year-old son, Noah, whose small hand clutched his tightly. Noah was Daniel's his reason to keep going after losing his wife, Laura, in a tragic accident 3 years earlier. As they approached their driveway, Noah tugged his father's hand and stopped. "Dad," he said softly, "why is that girl sitting there like that?" Daniel followed his son's gaze and saw Amber, alone, exhausted, afraid, doing everything she could to stay invisible. "Maybe she's just resting." "Buddy," Daniel said gently, but Noah stepped forward, shaking his head. "She looks hungry," Noah whispered. "She looks like she needs help, and you always say, if you can help someone, you should." Daniel's chest tightened, his own words coming back to him. He looked at Amber again, her wind-reddened face, trembling hands, eyes filled with a quiet desperation. He made a decision, holding Noah's hand. He walked slowly toward her. Amber tensed immediately, gripping her backpack like armor. Adults approaching her usually meant trouble, cruelty, or being chased away. But then she saw Noah smiling at her, innocent and gentle, and Daniel kneeling down a few feet away, hands visible, voice soft. "Hi," Daniel said warmly. "I'm Daniel. This is my son Noah. We live just across the street." Amber said nothing. "I don't want anything from you," Daniel continued. "I just want to know if you're okay. Do you need something to eat?" Amber hesitated, then nodded. Daniel offered her a granola bar. She unwrapped it like it was treasure and finished it within seconds. Noah sat beside her, quietly watching. "What's your name?" Noah asked softly. "Amber. Do you have a home?" Amber shook her head. "Do you want to come to ours? We have soup," Noah said cheerfully, "and warm bread." Amber looked startled, expecting Daniel to scold the boy, but he didn't. "Only if you're comfortable," Daniel said gently. "We're not here to scare you, just offering warmth and kindness." Amber stayed silent for a long moment, then whispered, "Just for tonight." "Just for tonight," Daniel promised. That night, Amber ate her first warm meal in weeks. Noah gave her a pair of fuzzy socks and insisted she sleep in the guest room. "I made your bed," Noah said proudly. "It has 3 pillows. Extra cozy." Amber curled under the blankets, still wearing her hoodie, clutching her backpack tightly. She didn't say thank you. She didn't need to. Days passed. Amber stayed quietly at first, always asking if she should leave. Daniel told her to stay as long as she needed. She helped around the house, eager not to feel like a burden. Slowly, she shared pieces of her life. Years in foster care, neglect, abuse, being kicked out at 17, nights spent behind dumpsters or in bus stations. She had forgotten what safety felt like. But Noah made it easy to trust again. Neighbors whispered, someone even called child services. But Amber stood tall and told the caseworker, "This is the first place I've ever felt safe." Daniel applied to foster her legally. The process was exhausting and expensive, but he refused to give up. Amber wasn't a visitor anymore. She was family. Months passed. Amber earned her GED. She enrolled in community college. She wanted to become a counselor for kids like her. "Someone has to tell them it gets better," she told Daniel. "Someone told me once, and it saved my life." 3 years later, in a small nervous courtroom, a judge read the final papers. "Congratulations, Mr. Carter. Amber is officially your daughter." Noah squealed. Daniel cried. Amber broke into tears she'd been holding in her entire life. That Christmas, Amber hung her very first stocking. It read, "Amber Carter." Years later, at Noah's graduation, Amber sat beside Daniel now, full of hope, working as a youth counselor, helping others find the light she once feared she'd never see. And when someone asked how her journey began, she smiled and said, "It started with a little boy pointing at me from across the street and asking his dad a question that changed everything."